prepared for that game yesterday, but it somehow went even worse than I thought it was going to for the Cleveland Browns. Like, I was pretty prepared. This isn't going to go well. You got to face Tyler Huntley. And that was pretty bad. Well, nonetheless, you got helped out yesterday. And you wake up today, you look at the draft order, you would have one of Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, or Travis Hunter. If it ended today, you're going into the draft, you know one of those guys will be playing for the Cleveland Browns next year. That's if they stay there. That's if they don't go up a little bit higher. It's all those things, right? But that game yesterday, tough. Just really tough. And I saw some guys still giving effort. What were you going to do with Dorian Thompson-Robinson? And more comments from Myles Garrett about his future with the Cleveland Browns and where that all stands. Are you worried about that? Is that something that is kind of on the back of your mind about what's going to happen with Myles Garrett moving on forward? We got to get ready to go for some Buckeyes, Ohio State. We'll talk to Noah Weiskopf, who is live at the Rose Bowl for Wednesday's game, Ohio State, Oregon. We'll get to that. Cavs with a late one tonight. Ryan, we'll do a parlay. We're kind of hot on the Cavs parlays right now, but I will not be up for that game. But nonetheless, get ready for the Cavs tonight as well. We'll dive into time up. We got one last go with the grid. We'll get to that coming up as well. Morning update. We'll go around the league. Good, the bad, and the ugly. No Weiskopf at 10:30. And we do have a show announcement that we'll get to in just 1 second. We got it all for as we close out the year right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. So happy to have you alongside on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on YouTube at Big Play, Instagram Big Play, and you can download the brand new Big Play app. So we got a lot of sports to get to. We get to all that coming up, but we do have a show announcement to be made this morning. This will be our final daily show here on Big Play. I want to start by saying I can't thank Ken and Dave enough for bringing me in over the last 15 months or whatever it's been. Been really proud of the growth that we've had on this show, the growth with Big Play in general. Like, I wish them nothing but the best. But the Daily Show, this is our last one. And as far as the future goes, there's options. There's some different things. We just got to see, and obviously with things going on, big plays, really, again, I believe so much in what they're doing here and what's going on. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for it. This is not a angry thing. This isn't me being, it just is what it is. And I know I've been so proud to be able to continue to keep doing this here on this platform. There are some exciting opportunities out there that we might be a part of, that we potentially could be, and other opportunities outside of this that are kind of calling. But right now, I'm sad. I'm sad that this show every day will not be continuing. Ryan, I'm going to keep this on the rails the best I can. I appreciate you very much, man, for doing this show every day. My goal always is to have a lot of fun. And we did that, no matter what, I thought we had a lot of fun doing this. And I truly, more than anything, is just going to miss seeing you every day and doing the show with you every day. It doesn't mean that this is for sure our last show. It could be. I don't know. You're a young guy. You have a really bright future. I see a lot of me in you when I was your age working out, man. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm always here for you. And, again, I'm just really proud of what we did. And I can't thank you enough, man. You worked so hard on this show. You stepped up in a lot of big ways for us. And we had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, man. I did.
In my young career, obviously, haven't done a lot, but I have done some cool things. And this is by far, the ability to be on here daily with you, really the first opportunity, I had in this media world. Yeah. It's been incredible. And it'll always be the launch of whatever I become. So whatever, oh God, I don't even want to think about that. Whatever that is, though, that will be
bigger and better things.
It will be because this was where I got my start. And that will always be true.
No, I appreciate you. And, we're not going to turn this into a 2-hour thing about whatever. It just, it kind of is what it is. So we'll keep everybody updated as we go. But just want to get that announcement out of the way that as far as the daily show goes, this will be our final one. So you can still go back and get them all on YouTube. We're all still up on the app and things like that. So we'll keep you updated as you go. I can't thank, we have a really loyal group, Mike and Charles and Marshall, and there's, certainly a lot of my family that watches. There's a lot of people that watch every day, and I appreciate you all so much for that, for people that have followed me for my entire career up to this point. Thank you. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye on the last go, and I don't want to say goodbye today. I really don't, and I don't think I am. But it's just life, man. It just really is life, and things change. It can be a tough medium situation right now in a lot of things, and again, there's potential in a lot of different ways. We got to see how things kind of shake out, work out. Still conversations to be had, but as far as the daily show goes, this will be the final one. So we got to save our best for last, I guess. We better get that damn grid today.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We had better damn well get that grid today.
We're going to hockey. If
maybe we should do, we'll just give away all the Fontana stuff. We'll give away all the merch. I got all this stuff, so maybe we'll do that. That's our final send-off right here on Big Play. Well, the Browns kind of had their final send-off yesterday, even though they got one game to go. And, yeah, that was, listen, man, we've been through a lot in this town. We have been through some bad games. Man, yesterday one. Wow. I didn't know what really to expect with Dorian Thompson-Robinson in there. Can he complete forward passes? I feel so this is so hard because I talked myself into Dorian Thompson-Robinson like I did for so many other quarterbacks, so many that came through here. And I've just seen nothing that gives you any semblance of hope that guy can even be the backup when it comes to your situation moving forward. And we know the Browns will completely readdress this quarterback situation. I saw Jack Duffin's little idea for the Browns, right? You go get Kirk Cousins, you sign Justin Fields, and you still draft a quarterback. It's not that far-fetched to think about a quarterback room legitimately being Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, and Cam Ward. There you go. And I think about that with the Browns because everybody gets so pissed off about Andrew Berry, right? The news today, okay, you wake up, you're in the third pick. The Giants, they did that. Shane Steichen's going to get fired. I sent a tweet out about Gannon and Steichen, and apparently it got picked up in Philly because it's got 50,000 impressions, and people are calling me an idiot. And they go, what do you mean Gannon and Steichen be fired? I'm like, one of those guys probably going to get fired. I don't know how Shane Steichen keeps his job, man.
Do you think Dable won the game on purpose knowing he's going to get fired?
Bro, probably 100%.
Okay.
So 100%.
You think upper management's pissed?
Oh, they have to be.
Yeah.
And I know that people want to dive into the Browns game yesterday that they were purposely tanking. No, they went for that touchdown because you weren't going to get back down there. When Stefanski said that after the game, well, why didn't you just kick the field goal in that situation? He goes, we're on the 3-yard line. You score a touchdown there. And I knew you were down 10, and the whole idea of then you know what you need to go get later. What did you feel better about the Browns getting? Back to score a touchdown or at least get into field goal range? And both were mountains to climb. They tried to go for the touchdown. That was the right call. And I don't, people that are trying to get angry about that, you're missing it. That's bad. Now, the tank part of it, I don't buy at all. That's not something that infested that sideline. They always say tanks in football start with upper management. When you look at the roster, and here's the thing. The Browns were not trying to tank this season. 2017, I'll have a different conversation. They were not trying to tank this season. They were trying to win that football game yesterday. They were just completely void of talent from the quarterback position. Then Jerry Jeudy's dropping passes. Defense actually kind of showed up in some spots. They weren't trying to tank yesterday. But for people that want to sit there and you're worried about, Andrew Berry making the picks or who's he going to get a quarterback, do this. Take more shots at the dartboard. And I've said this in the past when they've tried to go get quarterbacks, get as many of them in here as you can. Have more chances, more swings at the plate. Go out next year, and it really is feasible to bring in 3 brand new quarterbacks, 2 veterans, a drafted guy, and you tell Deshaun Watson to go away. We'll talk about the restructure coming up in a minute. But get as many in here on the off chance that one of them works. Now, at the end of the day, it has to be the drafted guy. It has to be the drafted guy that is going to take the Browns to where they want to go. And everybody wants to get on this morning about, all right, Cam's not the guy, or I don't believe in this. Well, I'll tell you what, there's an opportunity that he could be. I'll ease your mind on Andrew Berry for a second. You want to know why? Just take the guy. Screw your evaluations. I'm assuming that Shedeur Sanders is going to go 1, right? Okay. Well, and again, at this point,
the Patriots
have one.
They're not taking Shedeur.
I don't think they are either. They'll take Travis Hunter if they keep that pick. They could trade back. Then at 2, Titans are taking a quarterback. And then if you're left with Shedeur or Cam, you just take that guy. And people will be, well, you still have to evaluate him, because what if you don't believe in them, so then you want to trade back? People are going to be pissed either way. If there's a quarterback sitting there at 3 and you need one, you take one. I don't even need to look at Andrew Berry. Ryan, every single draft analyst says Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward are the 2 best quarterbacks in this draft. You want to debate how good this draft is or whatever. It's almost like this is wired. Just do it. Just take him. You're going to be in that position. You are not beating the Ravens on Sunday. And stay there and at least have a look at any 3 of those guys. I would take any 3 of them. All right, I'm just conditioned that Shedeur is going to go 1 or the first quarterback off the board, and I'm fine with Cam Ward. I'm all in on Cam Ward. Take him. Because on the other side of it is, you get too cute and you try to trade back or you try to go get this guy. I'm done with those games. You need a quarterback. You are in position to take one of the best ones in this draft. Do it. Don't think about it. Don't worry about Andrew Berry's evaluation. Don't sit there and be worried, well, can he find the guy? Get a guy in here first. And I always say that when it comes to the quarterbacks. There's parallel universes that Kenny Pickett is good. God, that throw yesterday was bad, though. Like, any of these guys in the right system with the right players can be the guy, but you got to take him first. You got to get him here before you can do anything else. So as I'm trying to pull the silver linings out of this whole thing, yeah, we're in the 3. You got the mock-up from Tankathon. It is Cam Ward. It goes Travis Shedeur, Cam Ward. Good. Do it. Don't think about it. And if Cam Ward goes belly up, well, Andrew Berry's not going to be here anyway for that. But I'll tell you this, he trades out of that spot with him available, he's going to be gone a lot quicker. You have a quarterback problem. You need to address that problem before anything else. And I know Dorian Thompson-Robinson is not going to be a factor in this anymore, which sucks. Okay, I wish the guy well. We know Jameis Winston not going to be a factor in this anymore. If they want to start Bailey Zappi on Sunday, which they're probably going to do anyway, fine. I don't think he's part of it here. You need a full turnover on this thing to then appease some of your players, appease the fan base, but to just give us some GD hope, to give us something to say this guy might be the franchise savior here. And it's, oh, you can't put that all in one guy. Why not? That's what quarterbacks are more than anything. Go watch Washington last night. You're telling me that Jaden Daniels wouldn't fix the Cleveland Browns? You don't have him. Keep searching for that guy. Even Penix, and he had some bad throws, but he basically went toe-to-toe with Jaden Daniels. That was a fun game to watch. Find me that guy. And you'd like it to be for next year. You'd like it to be the quick turnaround. I just need somebody on this roster to have a little bit of hope that we can get to where we need to go with a quarterback on this roster. Because I know for a fact, I don't know much about this Browns team, Ryan, except this. The quarterback savior is not here. And you could read into that article from Mary Kay a while ago about them with Deshaun Watson. The Cleveland Browns know that. The Cleveland Browns know that there is nothing here redeemable at the quarterback position. Go find something else then. There's a lot of avenues. Well, I'll take that back. I don't think there's a lot of avenues. Sign a veteran or 2, and you draft a guy with your first pick. That's it. There is in no world right now the Browns are going to be picking worse than 3rd. That's it. You have now been gifted this situation where, and again, Travis Hunter doesn't play quarterback. If some freaky thing happens and he's there, you take him. All right, you take him, and then you go find a quarterback somewhere else. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But you just got to take one now. Like, that's 100%. I'm setting aside the Andrew Berry evaluation because I'm just going to tell him, you go draft a quarterback, whichever best one is available at 3, you take him. And in the doomsday scenario, they're both gone, then we'll figure that out later. But right now, if one of those two are there, you have got to take him. Because, we'll get to the good, the bad, and the ugly coming up. But outside of that game yesterday, with quarterback competent play, you would win that game. I don't know about the Kansas City game. I don't know about that second Pittsburgh game. But, watch Miami. If you got Snoop Huntley's game yesterday, you win. Find me that. Now, in the grand scheme of it, does that fix everything? You think Snoop Huntley's going to go win you playoff games? No. But I've seen the defense over the last couple of weeks play all right. Jerry Jeudy, with the drops all aside, he's going up some record books. He's proven that he can be a number one bona fide receiver. Cannot run the football to save our lives. Now Ford is hurt. Now everybody's freaking hurt. You just need to find that. It's so easy to say. It's a hard thing to execute. But that's what you're going to have to go do.
Yeah, I don't think there's any sliver of a doubt what you have to do. If you're the top 3 and you can get either, I prefer Cam Ward or Shador. And we'll talk about Shador to Cleveland, that whole debacle, if that's even really a real thing. He won't come here, whatever. But the fact is, you're nothing right now without a quarterback. And if you want any sliver of hope, let's begin with this, of Myles Garrett playing for the Cleveland Browns next year, not requesting a trade. I don't think Kirk Cousins moves that needle for him. You got to have somebody young, somebody that has a future for this team. It could potentially be the guy, right? And you talk about, well, I don't know, Shador, Cam, are they really franchise quarterbacks? Nobody knows. That's one of the biggest things that bothers me. I mean, just in this last year, you see Bo Nix play out of his mind. He's leading the Broncos to the playoffs most likely, right? Jaden Daniels, aforementioned, he wasn't the first quarterback taken. I understand he's a good prospect, but, I mean, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, those two highly touted prospects, they necessarily haven't panned out. And I'll give Caleb Williams time by all means, but at the end of the day, you don't have anything if you don't have a quarterback. And if it all goes belly up next year, if we realize in 1 year Cam Ward sucks, guess what? You're going to suck. Go get another quarterback next year.
You're in the same spot. You're in the same spot. But again, I'm not yelling at you because you and I are on the same page on this. Why is everybody all of a sudden so conditioned that Cam Ward sucks? I really don't understand it. And I get that Twitter can be a cesspool, for lack of a better term. But, I understand that there's just some people out there that have their biases from everything else, or they have this. Why are people so dismissive right now that Cam Ward can't be the guy? And even if he's not the guy, Ryan, I've done this over and over. We all have done it over and over and over again, but at least I got to try again.
And yes, would it be nice to pick a player this year if you could know, sure, Cam Ward, Shador aren't be it. Yes, you can get a first-rounded graded player this year, let's say Mason Graham, and then even if you still suck, like when you drafted Myles Garrett and you won 0 games, well, then you get a quarterback next year. Yes, I wish I could know that. I wish I could know that.
Sure,
but at this point, how bad the Browns have been forever, how bad they will continue to be until you find a good quarterback, just draft one every single year.
Thank you. I agree. And I've always said that.
Yeah.
I've always said that. Now, the problem is if you did that, you wouldn't have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and you wouldn't have Grant Delpit, you wouldn't have Michael Hall, you wouldn't have some of the other pieces around here. But, that's, and it comes back to, again, the missing out on the draft picks, I think, is the detriment that we talk about, but it really hurts you worse than the salary cap. It really does. It's just a killer because you haven't been able to have that influx or draft somebody else and find them, right? Yeah, I can cross off lists and know that this guy, what are people, and I'm not saying it's everybody because there are some people that are like me that are in on Cam Ward. Why is this all of a sudden Cam Ward can't be the guy? How do we know that? I have no idea. What I know is he is a top pick at the quarterback position. Evaluation over. We're done. That's it. And I'll say the same thing for Shador. We keep discrediting Shador, right? Because there's a world that Cam goes 1 or 2 or goes as the first quarterback. Do this. Andrew Berry, if you're listening to our final show, take a quarterback. Take a quarterback. Take one of those two. Listen to Dane Brugler. Listen to Jordan Reed. Listen to Matt Miller. Listen to anybody who tells you these are the top 2 quarterbacks in this draft. You need one. Don't overthink it. spend all the rest of your time looking at second round and looking at tackles and looking at corners for the second round and beyond. Stop the evaluation. Stop the count.
And here's the thing. The Browns could
them.
potentially try to play chess and
see that? I know where you're going.
And take like Jalen Milroe early second or move back into the first and play that game again, try to get him late and pair him with like a Mason Graham. I don't trust them to play checkers, let alone chess, Matt. I agree with you. People are going to call us simpletons because we're sitting here, we're not really deep diving evaluating the quarterback. But at the end of the day, you don't know if they're going to work or not. I don't know if they're going to work or not. But as you said, you have a clear need and you can't do anything until you get that need. Like, I don't want to go 8-8. I don't want to go 9-7, miss the playoffs. I don't want to go to the wild card route.
You might have to do that to start and get back into where you're trying to go.
I don't want that to be our perpetual ceiling. And until you get that guy that can do that, which you don't know who it's going to be, you got to keep trying.
No, absolutely. And that's the other thing about the Browns actually have this situation has worked itself out, you know? And I get that people want to compare drafts and stuff. At least there's available quarterbacks. You could be in the Kenny Pickett draft. You could be in the Blake Bortles draft. Like you could, and I guess people would sit there saying everybody thought Blake Bortles was going to be good and he went third overall and all that. Sure, fine. And you got to forget, or we forget, Blake Bortles took his team to an AFC championship game. Yeah. Like, they're there. They're available. The NFL sets this up for this exact reason. That's why the draft order is the way that it is. Yeah. You suck. We're going to give you the best crack at the best talents. And quarterbacks, sure, get overdrafted. And I've read articles, too, that has Shedeur and Cam as like the 24th best prospect and all that. Ryan, the number one D tackle doesn't save Andrew Berry's job. The number one offensive tackle doesn't save the Cleveland Browns right now. Those are almost become luxury picks. Those are ones that you make those picks later when you have found the guy.
That's exactly it, man. I'm so glad you said that because that's exactly what I was going to say. Like they're saying that, like they take Mason Graham. I agree. Mason Graham's probably going to be a beast.
I love Mason Graham.
He's been manhandling people since he was a freshman, and Travis Hunter will probably be an NFL superstar.
Michael Williams is my guy, man. I'd love him on this team. That's the thing. Don't need him.
The Patriots, like you said, that's a great word to use, luxury. The Patriots got their guy in Drake May, probably, hopefully. Last year in the draft, now they have another, they got him a year under his belt. Now they have the luxury to take another player like a Travis Hunter or a Mason Graham. The Browns might be at that point next year, but first they got to get their quarterback.
They do. And I think yesterday, we're not really breaking yesterday's game down. We'll do, around the league, or I'm sorry, we'll do good, bad, and the ugly coming up. But like yesterday continues to prove what I think this team can be competitive if they just found a quarterback. The offensive line, again, running was tough, but I see glimpses on the offensive line. I see glimpses on defense where was it us or them? I couldn't remember. They hadn't converted a third down. They were like 0 of 7 on third down. I think it was them. I think we held them to 0 to 7 going into the third quarter on third down. And yeah, I know, again, it was Tyler Huntley. It wasn't too. I get that. I understand it. But like, I see this defense flying around making plays. And the vast majority of that defense should be back next year. So the chicken or the egg is finding the quarterback, putting him on a built team, or getting a quarterback and then building everything else up. I actually think you have a built team already. Like, what other and seriously, with the situation that we're in, what position really fixes any of it other than quarterback? I don't need a wide receiver. I don't really need an offensive lineman. I really don't need a corner. I have all of these things shored up. That's even more of a reason why don't even think about it, Andrew Berry. When that pick comes up, and I hope at worst that it's at 3, you walk up with that card and you take Cam or Shedeur. Don't even think about it.
And it's a pretty brash assumption to say that next year's quarterback class is automatically going to have something that you're going to want to automatically move up or tank to get. Like, I understand the appeal of Arch Manning potentially being the number 1 quarterback, and I'm not going to pretend to be this quarterback scout. I don't really know the prospects for next year outside of Arch Manning. Like, I haven't dove into them. But why? Like, I can't imagine that we're going to look at this class with Shedeur and Cam being the top 2 and know somehow that next year's going to be way better. Get a guy instead, a position player. Next year, go grab a guy.
So here's
I don't
the other
know
thing.
If that's going to be the case.
And I can't tell other people how to feel. I'm just going to talk to you and tell you about how I feel with this. Let's say the Browns take Cam, okay? And Jackson Dart becomes an all-pro. Jalen Milroe is God's gift to football. I would not then sit there in 5 years and bitch that you should have done your evaluation and taken Jackson Dart. You should have done that. You took the best quarterback available with your top pick. That's all I can ask for. And if it goes bad, then it goes bad. And we're in the same spot that we've been in. Other people can't do that. Other people need their pound of flesh. There are still people standing out by the sinkhole over there waiting for Jimmy Haslam to drive by so they can flip him the bird because they're upset about Deshaun Watson. I don't care about that. There's nothing you can do about that. That sinkhole is massive, by the way. Did you see it? Close the road down over there. I had to go all the way, loop around back to 55th.
That's a nightmare. Me too.
Like that. What a cherry on top of this season. Even God is trying to swallow up that stadium.
Yeah, seriously. Might as well.
Even God is like, I'm done with this stadium. I'm done with it. We're moving on. But you just got to get there. And you're in this position now. I can't tell you, man. Like, I don't mean to romanticize this for a second. Doesn't it seem like something cosmic happened with the Giants winning? Why the did they do that?
It has to be Dable, I'm telling you.
I know.
You got to be giving them one.
But, like, I'm going to dream here for a second that in, like, 3 years, with Cameron Shador balling out, we'll go, man, we only got them because of this. Like, I don't know. There's something weird about how this all played out. And it's not done. You still got to look at it. I got a draft order right here. Titans play the Texans. Now, the problem is Houston has jack squat nothing to play for. But actually, I take that back. That's good. Go ahead. Let the Titans screw that up. And then the Patriots have the Bills. The Bills have jack squat nothing to play for.
But here's this, is if you're the Bills, you've already clinched the number 2 seed. You can't move up or anything in the AFC playoffs. And I saw this tweet about it, right? I understand they have nothing to play for, but if they let the Patriots win, then they're hopefully maybe denying them a Travis Hunter or the number 1 pick.
Yeah, but I get exactly where you're going. It's like it is a division opponent. You could screw them a little bit. Would you trade a Super Bowl for that? Yeah, you would. Yeah, and that's where I would not have James Cook on that field. There's sure no way in hell that Josh Allen's going to be in that game.
I'm saying let the Patriots win if you're the Bills.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking about it the wrong way. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
But the Patriots neither team is going to want to win that game.
Neither team wants to win that game. Again, I don't think Houston cares. Tennessee could fight to be like, all right, Brian Callahan's in his first year, but they know the game. They know that they're going to have to take a quarterback there. And very much the Ravens have a lot to play for. They need to win the AFC North so they can get a home game, right? They want that, so they're going to be playing. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is anymore.
Who?
Ravens.
That's a great question.
Don't tell me.
Not Huntley, is it? I mean,
no, he's Miami.
No, I didn't mean Snoop, the
other
dude. Who is their backup quarterback?
I don't know why I wanted to say it was. Who is it?
Lamar's just that good.
Lamar is that good. I wanted to say it was Malik.
He's on Green Bay.
Yeah, that's right. That's where he is. Wait, don't tell me. I didn't see it. I want to look. Do I know this guy?
Oh, yeah. If it's the same guy, you definitely know him. He's actually become quite the meme on our show.
Really?
Unless he has the same name as this other guy.
Huh.
Like, really big meme on the show.
What? Whoa. Wait. I don't know. Who is it?
Josh Johnson.
Oh, my God. That's right.
Is that
that's
the same
right.
Josh Johnson?
Yes, it is. That is. Because he was actually, I did see that.
Wow. I didn't know he's still in the league.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't know.
Right. It is Josh Johnson. It is. That is him. Maybe he'll be good for the grid today. We'll find out. Damn, you're right. It is Josh Johnson. He could beat the Browns. He could 100% do it. So yeah, obviously it's got to play out this weekend. We'll see kind of how it goes. So again, we'll get to the draft order. I do want to talk about the restructuring, and we got to hear from Myles Garrett, because I do want to post our Twitter question this morning. Are you worried about his future in Cleveland? Like, is that something that you are concerned? Now, there's a lot of levels to that. You could be concerned about it because he could leave, and you could be missing that piece. You could say, I'm not concerned because you know he's coming back. Or you could just say, we're better off just getting rid of him, right? Or moving on. So we'll vote on that. We'll get it up as our Twitter question. We're going to hear from Myles. Maybe a little bit of a different vibe from him after the game yesterday. We'll get to that coming up. But the same vibe always and forever at Fairway Ford. Obviously, today's a big show for us. We got to thank Fairway Ford so much. They've only been on with us for a little while, but there's somebody that, I've been doing this a long time, and I always enter partnerships with companies that I believe in. I don't want to tell the people out there, I would be disingenuous if I told you about a company or people and I knew they were scummy or I knew they weren't going to deliver on what they promised. And I tell you, as I've done with so many in my career, that I stand by Fairway Ford, man. They are excellent people. They have amazing vehicles. They get you great deals on that Christmas sale going on, and I stand by them because I would send my family there. Any of the companies I've ever told you about in my career, and Fairway Ford is like that, because you are my family, I would send my family there because that's how good they are. They're going to take care of you. I know vehicles are big purchases. That's tens of thousands of dollars. Where are you going to spend? There's a lot of great car dealerships in Northeast Ohio. I'm just telling you that Fairway Ford is one you need to add to your list because, number one, they're going to get you money off. I don't know what miracle they could work, but here's the best thing about Fairway Ford. I know they're going to work really hard for you. When you go in sometimes to buy a car, which again is a massive purchase, and you're searching for all the things that any of us would be searching for, the cheapest deal you can get, best interest rate, low payments, warranty, good vehicle. You go there and they play games with you. Or they're like, oh, well, we can only really do this. I can tell you this because I've seen it and I know it, that Fairway Ford is going to work really hard to get you the best deal that they can, even sometimes at the detriment of the dealership themselves. Brian told me that one time. He goes, Matt, I make deals. He goes, I just this week made deals that actually cost us a little bit of money here, but it was the right deal to make, and we were able to help out some people. They'll do just fine because they do so much there. They have so much inventory. They make a lot of sales. They're in it to help you. That's at Fairway Ford. Whether it is the payments, whether it's the money off, and just the expansive amount of vehicles. Literally, just go search their website. Fairway, you could be on there for hours looking at all the vehicles that they have. Their inventory is massive, a veteran sales staff, excellent service staff, and they're just, at the end of the day, really, really good people. 20 plus years, family owned and operated. They're going to help you out. I can't promise you anything. The one thing I can tell you, I know they're going to work to get you the best deal that they can. I don't know what miracles they can do, what money they can do. Just add them to your search. It's a big purchase. You're getting into the new year. I mentioned earlier, they have a fantastic amount of demo specials. 2024 vehicles that they used as demos, right? Those guys have a couple thousand miles on them, if that. And you're able to get $10,000 off MSRP on top of potentially a great rate. No payments for 90 days, interest rate for 60 months. Just go see what they can do for you. And you can always walk out. There's no pressure there. Seriously, there's no pressure at all. Start your search online, fairwayfordohio.com. They have a chat feature. You can fill out some of your paperwork right there. Ryan, no joke, you can be out of that dealership in an hour and a half. You know the vehicle, you filled out some stuff, you already talked to them, bing, bang, boom, done. That's it. That's how they do it. Fairway Ford is the absolute best. We appreciate them so much. We thank them very much for it right here with us at Big Play. All right, I want to hear from Miles. Our question is up. So obviously, when he had his press availability and he starts I don't want to go through a rebuild, and he's kind of laying the foundation. So yesterday, after the game, several questions asked. Number one, Miles, does the sacks mean anything? So we got 14. He joins Reggie White and TJ Watt.
It's all right, company.
That's not bad. As the only 3 players in NFL history to have 14 or more sacks in 5 of their first 8 seasons. And we all know the other season I got cut a little short on that. That's pretty good company. He's back near the top of the sack list now. Maybe back up for DPOY. I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think he's winning it either. But the question to him yesterday was, does the sacks mean anything, even in a loss? Audio courtesy of the Browns. Here's Myles Garrett.
Personally, at this moment, no. And I'll see my family in a short second, and they'll tell me that and try to put a smile on my face. And I'll still be holding on to this L because at the end of the day, we play for wins. The individual stuff is great. It's nice. You want to be remembered for all the above, but cities remember you for wins and bringing championships, back home. And that's always been my intention. So I want to get back on track. I want to get back to winning, whether it's the last one or whatever's in store next season.
He was good up until I thought when he said whatever happens next season, right? Because that made it sound like I want to win championships. The Fed lines. Want to win it here, want to get back to winning and all that. So a great follow-up question from Scott Petrak. Shout out to Scott. Did you think for a moment that this could be your final home game here at Cleveland Browns Stadium? Here's Myles Garrett's answer.
I don't think about that kind of stuff. My mission is to go out there and try to help this team win. As a leader, as a brother, as a teammate, that's what I solely focus on. I'm not looking into the future. And next thing on my mind is recovery, looking at film, how can we improve, going to the Ravens, and try to play spoiler for them.
Is that not hard to think that it crossed his mind for a second?
Of course it did.
I think it did too. And this is obviously toned down. And I thought Daryl Ryder mentioned it this morning, and Daryl is 100% correct. I think the Browns went to Myles and said, dude, you got to calm this down. And it's not that we're not going to have tough conversations between the two of us, but we can't be doing this out here. You're sounding an alarm. We know everything is bad. Everything is on fire. It's the towering, raging inferno. We need not be adding to this right now. So I think Myles did temper that a little bit. Now, the question is, Ryan, are you worried about it? So when we walked through our question this morning at Matt Fontana Show, what's kind of in the Twitter account? Let's keep it there. There isn't a reason to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, we can keep it.
We'll
We just send memes.
We'll just turn it into like a burner account.
There you go.
That'll be Ryan in my burner account.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
We can't tell him that.
Why? That's right. Boy, Leroy, by the way, Leroy Bickerstaff been awfully quiet recently.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Him and what's that dude's name? It's like Vernon Pritchard.
Oh, yeah. They've quieted down just a little bit over there. But anyway, I digress. The question is, are you concerned about Myles' future? Now, you could answer the question, yes. This guy is a staple, a pillar, an elite player that might be leaving your team. There's your concern. You could say no. Number one, I don't think he's leaving, right? I think he's going to come back. He's under contract. They'll get him paid again. This too shall pass, and he'll be here. The other reason you could say I'm not worried about it is I don't really care. He can go. We'll get 2 first-round picks for him. Hopefully use those picks well, and we'll move forward because we're not going to be playing good football when he's here anyway. I see both sides of the coin. I'm going to answer first this morning. I'm not worried about the future of Myles Garrett here with the Cleveland Browns because I might be putting my blinders on. I don't think he's leaving. I really don't. And they're going to sit down with him after this season, and they're going to say, we are going to address the quarterback position. We are now in position to take one of these young rookie guys. You might need to assure him that you're going to, or at least give damn good effort to. I think what Myles needs is that statement from the team to say, we know this is crap and we don't accept it. Because if he hears the lines about Deshaun coming back or him playing again, that's what pissed him off. That's what set him off on this path. It's going to take one meeting in that exit meeting for them to sit down with Myles and say, give us one more year. Give us one more year to get that quarterback here. And frankly, I think they're going to offer him a contract extension this offseason. He is underpaid. We would love to give you this contract. If you don't want to sign him right now, we understand that. But just know, we know this is not good enough, and we are going to be everything full steam forward to fix that problem. It doesn't mean that we're for sure going to do it. It doesn't mean that God will open the skies and somebody's going to plop down and here's our quarterback of the future. But we're going to try. And that's all he can need. That's all he can ask for. And knowing that at the end of the day, if it is still really bad, they can still just move on from him. But I am not concerned about this run because he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. I'd say save this clip, but it might not matter anyway. He's going to be a Cleveland Brown week 1 next year. I just feel that. I really do feel that. I understand his frustration. I join him in his frustration, but you just got to hope for the best. So I don't think there's nothing. I really am not concerned about this. I think they're going to work this out.
No, I'm not concerned either. And even if the Browns had to pay the piper, like I would understand, and I wouldn't be that. I would be upset to see, like we talk about, maybe arguably the second greatest player in franchise history leave, of course. But and it's not crazy to say what quarterback to draft if it's Shador, Cam, or if you sign Kirk Cousins and he plays for the majority of the year. Like, yeah, that's going to determine Myles Garrett if he's going to retire Brown. Probably that could very well decide that. I'm not necessarily worried. I mean, I would just love to know, and this goes for all athletes when they talk about how much it means to play for the team that drafted him, how they grow a connection with the city, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying Miles is lying by any means. I would just love to know if that's really genuine, if it's all PR.
Well, I would tell you this. That's just part of life.
Sure.
On the ebbs and flows of things.
And I still appreciate him saying it.
And I do, and I want him to have that platform and to kind of maybe hold the team accountable. I always say, you finally have somebody holding the Browns accountable. They didn't need Myles Garrett to speak up to understand, like, they better fix this thing. They didn't need that. Now, I appreciate him doing that, and it could be, I think the worst scenario is if he is just apathetic to the whole thing, and he's just like, yep, whatever, right? He's saying, I want to win. I know I can be a part of the winning, and I need this organization to step up and do it. That's what we all want.
How'd you feel about him talking to LeBron?
I didn't see that. He talked to LeBron?
Yeah, but the reports are that Myles Garrett talked to LeBron about...
Oh, what it's like to be in Cleveland?
Yeah. And people are like, uh-oh.
No, you want to know what? I actually think LeBron, which we'll get to time out for his birthday today, I think LeBron would give a glowing review of Cleveland as a sports town. Now, the problem is, listen, the decision, LeBron knows that he messed that up, okay? He would tell you that he could have handled that differently, all right? Now, the difference is Dan Gilbert. He had an owner that was, and I'm not saying that Jimmy Haslam hasn't spent a lot of money. He has. But Dan Gilbert is one of the best owners this town has ever seen. He brought you a championship. So, like, I just imagine what a room that would be in. LeBron sits down with his white wine, and we sit down and have a cocktail.
I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Let me do some research.
Yeah, pull that up. I think LeBron would have a glowing review of Cleveland as far as fans go, as far as what wanting to win. Now, the difference is that LeBron won a championship and, had all the money and the team and put it all together. That's a little bit different, no. Right, in that it?
It's for Cleveland.com.
All right,
so.
there. No, I'm not. I'm
Mary
not.
Kay.
Just didn't see it. I just
Mary
didn't see it.
Mary Kay. I may have to. Oh, there's no paywall. Let's go.
All right, there you go.
Myles Garrett. This is from MaryKayCleveland.com.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett has LeBron James to thank in part for encouraging him to speak up about what he needs from the Browns to prevent him from taking his talents
Nothing wrong with that.
elsewhere. Represented by Rich Paul's Clutch Sports, like James Garrett worked out with him in the offseason, picked his brains on
Saw the
different
videos,
topics, including greatness and winning championships.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to pick a brain of somebody how to win a championship. LeBron's a pretty good one to do. And Myles is an elite talent in his field, just like LeBron is. And I think it might not even be so much about Cleveland per se. It's just, how do I handle this? As a star player, as I'm worried about my future and my career. And I said, we had the clip that we sent out about Joel Bitonio, and I would say the same thing with Myles Garrett. I want Myles Garrett to be successful. Okay? I want him to win championships. I'd love it to be here. And if it really did push come to shove, that he had to go, I would understand that. And the Browns would have no one to blame but themselves. Again, this cycle over and over of having these great players here that you don't maximize their talents while you're here, and you're basically wasting their time. I get that. I understand that 100%. But it's not that easy just to snap your fingers and say, we're going to fix all this. The thing is, too, you can have, okay, here's a prime example, right? The Lions have everything under the sun cooking, right? Are they guaranteed to win a championship? Absolutely not. That's the other pain of sports. You could draft perfect. You could win all these games. Star player stubs his toe. Referees get involved. And you don't win. And you don't win a championship. Now, losing in the AFC Championship, losing in the Super Bowl, that's something that you can kind of palate from time to time. But, there's no guarantee you're going to get back there. Panthers got there with Cam Newton. They thought they were going to go back again. The Falcons choking that lead. You thought, oh, my God, Matt Ryan will be back there again. Okay, right? That's sports. Welcome to it. There's no guarantees in any of this. So, him talking to LeBron, good. And then I read that more as yeah, Miles still a young guy relative. Pick LeBron's brain, sure, but I don't think he's got anything bad to say about Cleveland.
No, I don't either.
I
thought the headline is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, no, and that would obviously send some fans into a tizzy because, crap, it's LeBron. People in this town don't like him very much anyway. Or some in this town don't like him very much anyway, but it is what it is. All right, we got to talk about the restructure real quick. So the Browns, it's announced that they're restructuring Watson's deal again. And I don't want to, I think most people with the 1,000 different restructures the Browns have gone through, and Browns fans are smart, most of us, you understand, you know what's going on. And Jack Duffin has said this over and over and over again, and we'll do it again here. They're spreading this money out over time when the salary cap is going to go up, and it's going to ease the burden of the Deshaun Watson contract. Now, everybody reads into what? Oh, my God, they're going to keep him for next season. That was probably going to happen anyway, right? Like, we had the discussions here about if they just rip that Band-Aid off, not the smart thing to do. Okay, they restructure. The void year that they then turned into a real year, I'm a real boy. They turned it into a real year. They can just move that money forward. Here's the thing you got to take away from this restructure. The Browns just signified they are cutting Deshaun Watson after next season. That's good news. That's great news. Okay? If you wanted to dive into, well, maybe that they think this can work, or maybe they'll let him start again. By making the moves that they did, number one, it gives you a little more flexibility. You're still choking, man. That noose is still around the neck. You got a little bit of breathing room right now. And you could try to use that little flexibility that you can to ease the burden. That's number one. But number two, it is now signified that no matter what, they are cutting him after next season. Why would you then play him? Then the insurance policy. The Browns have an insurance policy on about $24 million of the $46 million that he is owed next year. If he's on PUP, if he's on IR, they could put in for that insurance claim. That is cap worthy. You get that money back on the cap. Not all of it, because eventually I think he's going to come back. But that's where the injury might have actually given you a little bit of a reprieve here. The Browns deserve all the hell that they're going to have to deal with for making the deal that they did. But you can just try to make it a little bit easier for you, and that's it. I don't understand. And again, it's like I think people see the restructure and they get all hung up on it and they get worried about it. Ryan, I think this was great. I really think that this was, I don't want to say for the first time, but it gave me that little piece that they actually have a plan that they're going to execute, and that plan is telling me Deshaun Watson's not going to be here after this season. So if he's not going to be here after next season, why would they even waste their time playing him? And it'll be right back to the Houston Texans situation if he's got to be into a real year. This is from Brett Coleman from Underdog Fantasy. But they didn't add any new money. There's no way they were ever going to add any new money. So this is that they can get rid of him after next season, not keep him longer like some have speculated. This move means not only they can get cap relief via the insurance policy, which here's my research on the insurance policy. The Browns insured $111.9999. It's $112 million of his 230 was insured. Specifically for next season. $46 million easy because this is the path that everybody wanted. But it's like, just have that little, because I trusted the Browns. I still trust the Browns that they were going to get this kind of figured out. But at least to hear this tells me we have a plan. We're actually going to execute, and that plan is Deshaun Watson will be gone in a calendar year. Seriously, think about this. In a calendar year's time, 14 months, probably. With these cap hits, they maybe found a little bit of a trapdoor. They maybe found a little bit of a trapdoor. And that's the thing. We always had to have faith in Andrew Berry because he knows how to do this. He knows how to work these gymnastics and work around and move this money here and flip this cap here. It's finally coming to fruition that they're finally getting it done. All right, Ryan, you want to hit to it? A little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly from the game yesterday? Let's do it.
Wait, I might work some magic.
Nope, I got the wheel of death.
Wait.
Maybe? Nope. Maybe not. All right, just go to break and we figure it out. If you are watching and can't see
today to watch all of your favorite hosts on demand.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool.